First off, I got a cheap Nightmare on Elm Street glove to use as the templates to where I'd cut the holes in my work glove. I then took the inside layer of the work glove out and tossed it to the side. Then I removed the glove from the claws from the Freddy glove. And then I tossed that extra piece to the side. Then I started cutting the finger holes into the work glove, being sure to take out any pieces of wool that were left behind. Now I ended up making the holes a lot bigger in the gloves once I realized that there needed to be a little extra room for my fingers to fit in with the actual claw piece on. After I finished cutting the holes into the gloves, I then began the process of putting the glove into the claw piece. Luckily, in the cheap glove that I had, it had the bindings for the fingers, so it made it very easy for me to just open it up, stick the fingers in, and then close it back up again. Once I was finished putting the fingers back together, I realized that I had to put the backing piece back onto the actual glove, so that when I closed the hand, it didn't just fold up. I ended up putting 3 holes in the glove and using the actual binding pieces that were on the original claws, just being able to shimmy them into the holes and actually getting them to fit pretty well. I did this method by necessarily using a pin and then just kind of shimmying it under the glove. I then noticed the claws were much too round for my liking, so I sharpened them off a little bit, as you can see in this before and after. I ended up realizing that the claws were a little bit too flimsy for my liking, so I added a layer of hot glue that I just kind of eased over the blade. I at first thought I screwed up because the blades looked a little bit too rough and just a little bit off. They didn't look as clean as they were before, but it ended up working out very nicely. I then started the painting process where I used a silver, a nutmeg brown, and a deep red. I started with the initial coat of the silver all over the blades, followed by the brown and then mixtures of red and then brown equally. I tried to make it so it was kind of very bloody and rusty looking, so I wanted to add a lot of like rust on the actual finger pieces, and then I realized the actual back piece of it was too clean. So I rusted that up a little bit too, making sure to get all the paint into the nooks and crannies along the way. I also wanted to make sure that a lot of the glove pieces were a lot darker than they were. Some of them were a little bit too clean for me, even though it was already kind of a dirty glove. So I started adding red splotches here and there, and then brown splotches under where pieces that would kind of be rusted metal-esque. And after a few more coats of paint, my Freddy glove was complete. I was very happy with how this turned out, and I hope you liked it too. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. I'm gonna go watch Dream Warriors.